Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Anime Rewind. Yes, we're releasing more episodes than we know what we can chick a stick at. So that's just the way it is. I have my co-host here, Liz, as always. Say hi to everybody.
What's up, fellas? And guys and girls.
And she has with her today one of our guests that we brought on the show to talk about Anime Blast Chattanooga. He is known as the man with the beard, the big red beard. We know him as Zippy, or AKA Michael Miller. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, no problem.
So you are one of the members of Anime Blast Chattanooga, is that correct?
So they tell me.
And what is your title at Anime Blast Chattanooga, just for all our listeners to understand what's happening today?
Yeah, so right now I'm pretty much director of the board because we kind of have a board that oversees the whole mission of Anime Blast, education, bringing like-minded fans together, and really promoting this as a cultural event for our city and our region.
Congratulations. And this is Anime Blast Chattanooga. I know it's named Lucky 7. Has this been like over 7 years you guys have been around, or is this just a name that you guys kind of came up with this time?
Yeah, so technically it's 8 years planning, and then, this is the 7th actual year of the convention.
That's great. And I know this is held in Chattanooga. Can you get a little bit more information? Where is Chattanooga? What state would that be in? And the times that this convention will be happening?
Sure. Yeah, Chattanooga is in the U.S. of A., specifically in the state of Tennessee. We're just 2 hours south of Nashville, 2 hours south of Atlanta, north of Atlanta, and occasionally we're a dot on your map. So you'll see us. If not, you'll drive by us on your way to Florida. And our event takes place. It's always the second full weekend in November, which this year is November 10th through the 12th.
And I noticed that this is going to be held at the Chattanooga Choo. Is that a hotel, or is that like a convention center that's being held at?
So actually now it's so many more things, which has been interesting to us both positively and negatively, to be honest. But it's a historic hotel, because when you think Chattanooga Choo, the song, this is kind of the hotel that is really tied to that. But it's been a venue for a while, so it has convention center space. But it's now become like an entertainment center and maybe even an entertainment district, because there's all these cool food options there. Frothy Monkey, for instance, it's a cafe kind of place that is open that we're super excited about. But you also have our comedy venue, the Comedy Catch, and then one of our music venues is the Revelry Room, which is kind of like a 300, 500 person music venue. So a lot of people, especially in Chattanooga, will have gone to the Choo for one reason or another, and we hope they come again for us.
Well, that's great to hear. And I noticed that you have a lot of artists coming in this time around. Do you want to talk about some of the artists that you've got coming in this year?
Do you mean specifically like the artists that you would find at like the Artist Alley?
Well, more of the special guests that you have coming in.
Sure.
I noticed that some of them are Vienna Cos, you have Night Sabers, also Afflicted Cosplay, Photography. You want to give us an idea about all these?
Yeah, we're trying to get a really diverse bunch here. So you've mentioned photographers, for instance. One thing we love about our location that none of our past locations have really had is we have a great natural scenic location. We have all these trains. Again, it's the historic Chattanooga Choo. So they really like to pull from the history of being, former train yard. So we have all these photographers. Amanda Swanson Photography, Vaughn Photography, and then, Affliction Photography. 3 fantastic photographers, each kind of with their own specialty and eye that'll be there. And at the same time, we have these great cosplayers. You mentioned Vina Cos, who's really cool. She's returning this year. But we also have Go Big or Go Home Cosplay, who is on the big cosplay show, Cosplay Melee.
Cosplay Melee.
Yeah.
On the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, which we remember as the more positive of the cosplay shows.
Positive cosplay show, and she actually won.
Yeah. So we're bringing great photographers, great cosplayers together. But of course, we want to represent other kind of art too. So we have Alyssa Lewis, who's one of the animators of Archer, which is a fantastic show. It's a little less in the anime world, really. But, there's a lot of crossover because, just because you like anime doesn't mean you don't like animation in general. And then at the same time, we always like to bring a lot of the voice actors. So we have Chris Patton. He's done so many roles, including one of my favorites, Sosuke Sagara in Full Metal Panic, which is a classic in my opinion. And then we also have Robbie Damon, who's doing so many roles right now. I'm going to just touch on one, which is he's Peter Parker / Spider-Man, in case you didn't know who Spider-Man was, spoiler alert, in Disney XD's new Spider-Man. But I know Liz is really excited because Robbie Damon is also
Prompto from Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. So.
I wonder if you're going to get your game signed. I wonder.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's going to get signed. It's going to be signed by him.
Yeah, so that'll be very awesome.
So what about the, now I know one of the guests called Greco's Game Shows. What's that all about?
We love Grego. It's actually his birthday today.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it's Grego's birthday today.
Oh, and you want to know something? I can't play the happy birthday song because guess what? Copyrighted.
Copyright issues.
I know.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. His birthday is Friday. Falls on. Well, this year it falls on Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Who's the lucky boy now?
Was he born on a Friday the 13th? That is the question.
I could do some quick math and figure that out, but I don't know. But yeah, so aside from the fact that it's his birthday, which is awesome, he's been like our longest guest, I think.
Yeah, he's been there since.
Yeah. So a lot of years, but he puts on. Basically, they're kind of spin-offs of the classic game shows so different ones he's done in the past. Is Password. He's done like 10,000 yen pyramid. So you kind of see just from the name the twist.
Press Your Luck.
Yep.
Press Your Luck.
Anime Press Your Luck. And Match Game. And yeah, he always puts kind of an anime spin on it. And so we're excited because he's coming back to do, I believe, 4 games. I don't recall off the top of my head which ones he's doing, but we'll have the schedule out in a couple weeks. And pretty much though, regardless whether you're an attendee or if you get the chance to actually be in the game show, you're going to have a great time. It's just so much fun.
Being at Grego's game show is a lot of fun. Take my word on that one.
Let's talk about some other stuff because I noticed like a lot of stuff has been coming up in the news here. One of them is the cosplay contest rules. Has anything changed in the rules for cosplay?
So the biggest thing I can think of is last year we got ambitious and we were like, let's do 2 different cosplay contests. And while we like that for a number of reasons, we were like, we're still going to do the same categories. We're going to put it into kind of one longer event, so that'll be on Saturday in the afternoon. So technically, you won't have to look for 2 rules anymore. Otherwise, we're just going to have it so people can sort of, I guess they decide they want to be in the costume contest, and they can do that online. Normally, you do that at the convention itself, and you can still do that. But we just wanted to save you some time, save us some time, and give that option to do it online ahead of time.
Okay. Now I noticed that there's something about the 2017 art contest, Lucky 7 winner.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's something that we've been doing 4 years, maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a cool opportunity to, especially this year is our first year with a theme. Lucky 7, kind of going off, like casino, entertainment. It's a pretty broad theme, but, we just asked artists in the community to use that and basically take our characters. We have 2 mascot characters, Blaze and Rockette, and kind of envision what that theme means for them. And they win an Artist Alley booth, which is nice, comes with 2 passes. And then as well, we'll use their art and kind of promote them specifically and give them, like a feature on the T-shirt for the year.
Wow, that's cool. And so I got the website up here, people. So I don't have it in front of me, so I don't have it shared here. One other question for you, Zippy. Now, going over some of the information that I can see here, you got your programming already somewhat listed here. Were you still allowing people to submit panels still?
Yeah, it's definitely a little late, but we've got a little room still. So if you want, perfect timing, because we're pretty much working on that in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, if you want a panel, and now is the time. And you mentioned the website, and that's animeblastchattanooga.com. So yeah, at the top right.
Yeah, I was going to. That's also going to be in the show notes, people. If you haven't, I'll be posting that soon. Another question for you. I noticed that hotels and venues, I'm still hearing that there's still room, but not a lot of room. Or can you give us a little bit more information on that, or not?
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of what I mentioned earlier. Again, the unique challenge of our space and how it's becoming this entertainment center, because they've turned a few of our hotels into apartments. So we still have the main one that we used last year. So really for us, it hasn't changed a whole lot. But there's still some limited rooms. I don't imagine that will be for very long. And yeah, so the information is on the site, but basically just call the Choo, and say, hey, I'm with Anime Blast, and you'll get our discounted rate, which thankfully is the cheapest, not just for a convention really in our region, which it is, but also for a hotel in downtown Chattanooga, because normally they're at least 20 plus more.
And that hotel rate is $99 a night.
That is a very good rate for any type of hotel room that I've seen in a long time.
For
conventions, yeah. Thanks.
Trust me, after AWA.
Yeah, you told me about AWA. I was a little shocked at the room prices.
compared to AWA, $99 a night is a
steal.
Is a steal.
Yeah, and I love Anime Week in Atlanta, and I know they don't have control over the prices, but the room is probably the equivalent size, if not larger, at the Choo, to be honest, just by a little bit.
Maybe by a little bit.
Yeah, but for a much cheaper price. And
so you get better bang for your buck at the Choo, eh?
Well, yeah. The problem with AWA's hotel situation is they built that new ballpark across the interstate, which makes all the hotel prices go up.
Yeah, apparently people like the Braves around here or something.
Gee, I wonder why.
Why would they want to watch the Braves? I mean,
don't bring that up.
I don't know. For my money, the Blue Jays are the best team. Pander.
Oh my goodness. Jesus,
okay,
man.
well, we're going to go to my video just to make sure there's no fighting or any blood.
We're not going to fight.
Okay. So, as I was about to say, one of the links here I'm looking at is Contact Us. Does anybody actually monitor that, or will they really get someone that would reach out to them and give them any information that they would contact?
So do you remember those? I think they were like young women at the end of Minority Report that were in the pool. We've actually given them a new job. We've hired them, and they predict what people will ask, and they give them the answer. No, sadly, we do have, well, not sadly, but we have real humans that check that out. And that really is the best way to reach us. Just use that contact form, because it gives us all the information that we kind of need to start a conversation with you for whatever question you may have.
So they might eventually get back to you. But Facebook's a good way of doing it, too.
Yeah, you can definitely message our Facebook page, too.
So say if I contacted you guys and I said, okay, I am trying to, say, book a room, and the Chattanooga Choo said, we have no rooms available. And if I messaged you guys would be able to help me out with that type of situation?
Yeah, in that case, because we could give you a referral to, some of the neighboring hotels.
But you won't have a con rate.
Yeah, we've pretty much just got, because we're not so large enough like some of these much bigger cons to where we have a reason to deal with so many hotels and give con rates. So ours is the primary convention rate, but we do know some that are a little pricier, but still not too terrible and within the region if they can't get one at ours.
Or find a friend that has find a friend who has a room. See if they have room for one more person, And there you go.
I'm surprised you guys don't have like a sign-up sheet on here that you can sign up your name and say, I have a spare room, or that I'm getting a room and I need a roommate, you know.
If they do it.
Yeah, essentially what we'd recommend there, I mean, obviously, we assume that everybody is going to follow hotel policies with how many people to put in a room. But what we would suggest is if they're part of our Facebook group, which is also just Anime Blast Chattanooga, but it's a group. And then if they want to either find friends or make friends, ahead of the con, that's a good way to find roomies.
Okay. Well, let's get back to
or if they want to book a photo shoot, like a group, like a Final Fantasy photo shoot, they can post in that group and see if anybody would be interested in doing one. Like I did.
Oh, so like hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Yes, somebody may be less than subtle on this couch right now.
I want to make it. What I want to do is make a Final Fantasy photo shoot event for ABC, but I don't know how many people would come or who to invite because I don't know who's coming to the con yet.
Everybody.
I'll just send an invite to everybody.
Everybody but me. Sad face.
I'll send you an invite.
They're in spirit.
I mean, we could talk about our awesome cosplay photography guest we got.
Well, you said that you were talking about awesome, so let's hear about the awesome photography then.
Well, I mean, we've got Vaughn Photography, who's been there. This is his second year as a guest.
Yeah, second year as a guest.
Who does awesome photography. He's based out of Nashville. His name is Devin. He has a Facebook page called Vaughn Photography. So if any of you guys are interested in checking his stuff out, he's also booking shoots for ABC as well. Along with who's he on? Affliction Cosplay. This is his first year, and that's Chase Lawrence, who's based out of where? Birmingham? Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, know that.
And he also has a Facebook page called Affliction Cosplay Photography, and he's also booking shoots for Anime Blast as well.
Okay,
And so we can talk about the other one.
Yeah, our last one, Amanda Swanson Photography. She's actually full up on shoots, but she'll be doing panels as well, the rest of them. And she does great work. She's actually known a lot for her Downtown Dogs of Knoxville project. So even if you don't live in Knoxville, if you love dogs, it's probably one of the cutest Instagrams to follow. So check that out. But she does fantastic work. I got to shadow with her briefly at Anime Week in Atlanta. And she's just a super sweetheart, but also so talented and can really teach a lot, either to the cosplayer looking to improve their modeling or just a fellow photographer looking to improve their shoots.
Okay. I also noticed, looking at the website here, that you also have a DJ Synaptic Flow is going to be there. You want to add a little bit
DJ
of
Synaptic Flow in the house.
Yeah, we love him. So he's been with us for a few years now. And full disclosure, we've been friends with him for, God, like 9 years now.
9 years.
Yeah, which is crazy. But, yeah, he's awesome. So he's Chattanooga-based DJ. So, for those around here, they may have gone to events and stuff that he's DJ'd at. Or, again, he's DJ'd for our convention for, I think, 4 years. And he actually released a mix for us that we shared, and we'll probably reshare in the coming days. But if you go down the Anime Blast page or event, you can check it out. And he's inspired by so much music, and K-pop, J-pop, grime. Let's see, bass and drum, house. Yeah, techno, just all kinds of great music, and he's put it into some fantastic mixes for everybody to dance to Saturday night.
So that he's going to be the DJ for Saturday Night Party, eh?
Yeah, the dance party.
Okay, what about picking up badges, and how do the badges work? I do know that with some anime conventions, the badge pickup is usually on a day when the convention is somewhat just starting up. Do you know when they'll be able to pick up their badges and registration and everything else will be happening?
Yeah, so I don't know. We always talk about maybe doing it early, but we're still not a huge convention. So we'll probably do it. We have registration open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'd say Friday by 11 for sure. It would be open. And of course, we recommend pre-registration is still open for about a week longer for VIPs, a week longer for 3-day and group. And so, it's cheaper if you buy it now. So we recommend people go online, Anime Blast 2017.eventbrite.com. They can order that now and again save a few dollars and then just pick it up on that Friday. And yeah, again, we're not a huge con, so it's not usually that big a hassle.
And you guys sold out. Now, with the history of Anime Blast, I heard last year was a lot. You guys sold out before the con, or you sold out just during the con? Can you fill me in a little bit of that?
So we sold out of hotel rooms, and then we also sold out of VIPs. So we still have more VIPs, but we do try to keep that fairly limited because you get a lot of benefits out of it. You get like priority placement for the autograph line, so you're not having to wait in a huge line. Early access to the dealer room and artist alley, and free T-shirts. You get a special reception with the VIP, they're the VIPs, but they get a reception with the special guests, such as Robbie and Chris, and the other guests that are free. So that's kind of why that package has become more popular, over time, and yeah, it's good value.
And it's what, $50?
I think it's just a little more than that, but yeah, it's not too much more if it is.
Okay, well, that sounds fair. I mean, I can see the value of going VIP, and I do see, because honestly, who wants to line up for autographs and everything else? It's just it just takes forever and such. So it's always nice to have those extra bonus features at a low price.
Yeah, and a lot of times, the guests may not have as long as we might even want them to sign. So, if you get placement at the front, that is good. So you get your autograph, you meet your hero or whatever, and then and you go from there. And you got plenty of time for the rest of the convention.
Or you be like me, just wait and be on staff and just hang out with the guests while they sign autographs.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, one of the perks of volunteering is sometimes you get to help out the guests. And we've been so fortunate that I can honestly say I've worked and volunteered for other conventions, and the guests have not always been as easy to work with. Not usually their fault. They're tired, they're exhausted, and whatnot. But I've never had a problem with any guests we've worked with, and I'm sure it's going to continue to be great.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue with any of them. They're all been pretty cool.
Is there any questions that I have forgotten to ask Zippy that come to your mind?
How do I get this glorious beard? I don't know. Am I single? Well, that's a good question today.
That is not this type of show, Zippy.
Yeah, Zippy, are you single? For all the people listening.
Yeah. I don't know. You've covered a lot. I did want to say, for Friday night, we're working on a new kind of dance that's more like a kind of slow ball kind of dance, so that should be a lot of fun. Otherwise, again, the Maid and Butler cafes are always awesome. Tickets are live for that. You've been to Japan, so even if you hadn't been to one, I can't recall right now, City. But you do know that
I've been to Japan, but I never. Honestly, I've been to Japan. I never got to go to the maid cafes or anything like that, only because the group I'm with was not looking for the otaku feel. We were more going to Akihabara to look at electronics. I picked up my trusty, and I know I'm away from the mic, people, sorry. This trusty little device, which is my translating device. It's allowing me to go open it up. What does that mean? Type in what I think it is. How many slashes is it? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll punch in the number of how many slashes. I'll punch in what I think it said. And then what it would do is it will come back to me and display it on here and tell me what the character is and explain it in Japanese to English. There was an English to Japanese translation on this. So all I had to do was type in what I wanted to say in English. It would give me the Japanese romanji. So I was able to speak it. I was able to hear back. I had enough Japanese that I would have survived in Japan, but this came in very, very handy. And this is post Google time. This was back in 2005.
Yeah, that seems especially handy.
Yeah.
Hey, we got somebody listening on the chat.
Yeah, it's our good friend Martha. Hi, Martha.
Hey, Martha. Say hi to Martha.
Hey.
Martha is another one of our co-hosts here. I didn't bring her, wasn't able to get in touch with her to bring her on, unfortunately. So I do apologize about that. But I do want to thank you, Zippy, for coming on. So the website is mablastchattanooga.com. Is that the best way to reach you?
Yep. That is it.
You're also available, and this is also available on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, facebook.com/Anime Blast.
And you can also hear Zippy on WAWL, Red Bank Chattanooga Radio. Is that correct?
Yeah, every, most, some Wednesday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. WAWL.org.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to thank Zippy for coming on the show. Noticed the video didn't switch back and forth. I have to manually switch it today. For some strange reason, Google is being anti-switching, so I do apologize if people are going, why is the video so chunky switching? Well, that's why, because Google doesn't want to be your friend today. So thank you, Zippy, so much for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
For a little bit,
Yep.
Yes.
And Liz, as always, great having you back on the show.
Oh, no problem.
We should be back to our regular standard very soon, reviewing again. But I wanted to get this out because Chattanooga is so close, and since Zippy was available to come on the show and did agree to it after we had some ransom, and you know, we drugged him well enough that we were able to trap him at Liz's place for a little while.
Yeah, I'm so amazed I'm answering as well, considering the Rohypnol was so strong.
I don't know what he's talking about, folks.
No, it's the joke that we used to have is we used to I used to record for Zippy. We're dealing with another podcast I had, and our jokes were, what did we feed Zippy today to knock him out so that we can get on the microphone streak to give you a little bit of history of a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good times.
They were good times. I want to thank both of you once again, and to all our listeners out there, whoever you may be, and new subscribers also.
Yes, new subscribers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, Jane, bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Martha.